Well, hello everyone. Thank you again for meeting with me on this episode of the Principal Conference brought to you by Dr. McDaniel. Now, this edition I will be teaching how to deal with difficult parents at school as an effective principal, okay? When it comes up, because we all know you have to take the good and then you have to take the bad. So I'm going to explain and teach and educate y'all aspiring, principals how to deal with difficult parents when that time occur. So number one of the most challenging tasks, even worse than having a root canal, is facing a difficult, irate parent in your school. I wrote this down so I can, read this off to you verbatim. As administrators, we know that we have a deal with any parent from time to time. In those times of heated passions, how we react to the situation is very important. A miscalculated response can backfire. It can fan the flames of a parent, upset, and even burn bridges you worked hard to build between the school and home. That's why experienced principal like myself use techniques aimed at extinguishing fires before they developed into full-fledged infernos. But first, you must, deal with yourself. Dealing with difficult parents requires that principals first deal with themselves. There are few absolutes in education. Every rule has an exception, and no matter how consistent principals attempt to be, there are times when plans must be adjusted. But, however flexible principle must be about some things, there are a few absolutes that evolve the principal's own actions and approaches. Effective principals never argue, yell, use sarcasm, or behave unprofessionally. The key word in that sentence is never. There are several reasons to adopt this credo. One of them is that in every situation, there needs to be at least one adult, and the only person you can rely on to act as an adult is you. I also believe that it isn't a good idea to argue with difficult people. You will not win. Difficult people may argue a great deal of time in every aspect of their lives. They argue at home, are confrontational at work, and probably have a great number of tense conversations on a regular daily basis. So, one can control how many arguments one gets into. One also determines how often they yell or use sarcasm to make a point. Okay? And one main key thing one main key thing that us principals should never tolerate is verbal abuse of any kind. If a parent turns abusive, a, a principal should remain polite, but in the meeting, the principal should tell the parent they can continue the conversation when, the abusive parent has better control, better composure. No one deserves abuse, not even a servant of the public. So, I'm going to give you some strategies for better relationships building. Listen and listen some more. I'm going to say that again. Listen and listen some more. The first thing a principal should do when confronted by an upset parent is to smile and extend your hand. Then invite the parent into your office and offer a seat. Doing that helps make the parent feel respected, and it communicates that you are willing to listen and try to find a solution to whatever is on their mind. Also, focus on the problem, not personality. Do not get defensive and don't take it personally. Ask how the situation can be improved. Apologize if in the wrong, of course. Make only those promises you can keep. Use practical suggestions from parents as a springboard for actions. Always try to offer alternatives so the parent has some control over the situation, and so there is a sense of shared decision making. So now I'm going to give you some examples on what not to do. Take the parent anger personally. The parent is probably upset about other events. Attribute motives to the parents. Undoubtedly, there are factors you know nothing about. Defend yourself before the parent are finished speaking. It is counterproductive. Indeed, the very act of becoming defensive impedes communication. Believe that you have to meet right away at the parent insistence. Delaying the meeting will give you time to collect information and perhaps let the parent anger cool. Meet with the parent by yourself. If you are afraid of them, or if you want administrative backing, which means more support, or someone to take notes, having another person in person attend the meeting is perfectly acceptable. That's something that things that is acceptable. Like if I didn't quote unquote. And also, be afraid to terminate the conference if the parents become verbally abusive, of course, or appear to be on the verge of a physical attack. Okay? Lastly, be afraid to apologize if you made a mistake that might make a parent justifiably angry. So, these are the strategies and the tools and techniques on what to do and what not to do, of course, or dealing with difficult parents. Like I said, I have to, come back and read my notes at this as well, because I can get, very, you know, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Not follow my own, instruction on that, because in the heat of the moment, I have to, just realize that I'm still a public figure, I'm a principal, and also whatever I do is documented. And that's another thing. When you're having a meeting with a difficult parent, document, document, document at all costs, because you never know what might come up, or if a legal procedure might happen, or just anything. Like if you don't, document the meeting or document anything, the meeting never happens. So always document, document, document everything when you is in any meeting of all sorts of kinds. So hopefully this video of tutorial helps you in a more insightful way on dealing with difficult parents as an effective principal. And I will also try to take my own advice, continually to take my own advice at that. So, as always, thank you for allowing me to, to to build and make the YouTube channel for you, so you can be an effective principal just like I am. So as always, I'm always happy to help, and always have a blessed and prosperous and wonderful day.